at the very north end of Saskatoon on Idlewild Drive on the highway coming in from Prince Albert, heading south. So we're going to look at all of Idlewild, heading all the way down to downtown and the river. So here's PBR Auctions here on the west side, on the right. This is the industrial part of Saskatoon. Most people who come up to this area are coming up to this Denny's, the Flying J gas station for the truckers. And over on the west side, which is on the right at Marquee Drive, we've got a liquidation building, and we also have Costco. And behind it is Saskatchewan Place, Sask Place. That's our biggest sports arena for concerts, and it was built in 1988. Woody's RV World on the left side, which is the east side. This is 60th Street. Sask Place is just through there. Might get a peek of it in a minute. 51st Street is coming up shortly. This is the overpass that you use to get onto the highway to head towards North Battleford and to Sask Place. So many a time there's a traffic pileup when there's a big concert on. Appliances on the left. Here's our airport. The RCAF used to have a special base here, which they highly developed in the 1950s, including McNabb Park, where all the soldiers and their families lived, which is just south of the airport. To get to 51st Street, which is now a very major street. Businesses throughout. And Silverwood would be to the east. Pure Later office over there at the airport. We're filming this on a Sunday afternoon during the coronavirus scare, so there's not much traffic at all. J&H Builders Warehouse over there. Volvo truck dealer. Comfort Inn Hotel on the left, and one of our most popular hotels, the Travelodge Hotel, is on the right, on the west corner of Circle Drive, which is 42nd Street. Travelodge built around 1970 approximately. Days in Waterside. And we used to have our Penguin Park water slides just over here, built in the 80s. It didn't last very long. This is our most northerly McDonald's. Oh no, we actually have one on 51st Street. So we are on Idlewild Drive heading south. Not too many people at the Thrift Lodge.
Don't ever stay there.
Gas is 63.9. It has not been that low in over 20 years. This is the Quality Inn Hotel, Ricky's All Day Grill. We've got the Government Liquor Board store here. Lots of businesses through here. Dog and Suds used to be just over on the left. It's been going for decades.
Usually packed. There's nobody there.
Got Tim Hortons,
Everything is
A&W,
drive-through.
KFC, The Doghouse Korean Barbecue, Modern Beauty Supplies, Cashopolis, Cash Money, The Lube Stop, 7-Eleven. This is the Unique Plaza with Starbucks, Taco Time, The Pub and Grill, which is now called BP. Used to be called Piggy's. Deo Auto. Here's some of the wartime houses built here. Small little boxes. We're now coming up to 33rd Street here. This is a major intersection. This is where Kelsey Institute was, and then it became SciAst. Now it's called Polytechnic. This is 33rd right there. It's a very busy intersection all the time. Henry Kelsey swimming pools hiding in the back there on the left. Here is the St. Sergeant Hugh Cairns Armory, built in the late 50s. The Med Spa, we've got apartments here. Here's a famous fun little corner here, just off of Idlewild.
With all the cute houses.
What street is this?
Wellington.
Wellington. So it's got about a dozen cute houses in here. So these would be wartime, but they've all been decorated up quite nicely in
They're
here.
all very British looking. And there's our car.
Willingdon Place.
And this over here should have been the spot where the drink home building must have been once upon a time. This is the old
Sion School there. This is the Ramada Hotel now, which used to be the Sands Hotel. These hotels have changed hands many times. Here's Outlaws Club, which has been a number of different clubs. The Venture Inn Motel changed names again. City Center Inn. Some of the cheapest places in the city to stay there now. Now we're approaching the warehouse district of the downtown. This is 25th Street. We have our new $100 million police station over there to the left. There's 25th and the warehouses. Here's one of the original train stations. It's still here but not used anymore for the trains. It's now restaurants. The old spaghetti factory just took over the Station Place restaurant. Back in the 70s, the city bought up extra land to widen Idlewild, and they bought out a whole bunch of businesses along here. There's our YMCA and our Centennial Auditorium. Okay, I'm looking now on 22nd and Idlewild. This is looking west, and it's all businesses down to about Avenue P. Early's used to be over here, and the giant grain elevator that was downtown for many decades. And there's been numerous restaurants, including Chinese restaurants, that were on this corner, but it's now been torn down in the last decade for more parking space. We've got Chianti's restaurant, which has been here for 20 years. It replaced another restaurant. Idlewild has only been named that since the 60s. This whole area used to be the railroad tracks and the train station. And this was all pulled out in the mid-1960s. They renamed Avenue A as Idlewild. So This is the YMCA building. On the north side is the Holiday Inn Hotel. Centennial Auditorium has developed a lot more. They have now the convention center built on, and it's next to the Eden's building, which is now Hudson's Bay, since Eden's went out of business. And this is the north part of the Midtown Plaza. Driving down 22nd Street now. We're looking at the northeast corner of First Avenue is the Affinity Credit Union. This used to be part of, I thought the Saskatoon. Oh no, actually it was the bus depot. The bus depot used to be right here, and then it was moved over to 23rd Street, a block over. We can't see it right now, for the Greyhound buses. And then we've got the Bank of Montreal. That was a massive building to be built in 1956, still being used. And this is our famous Canada building here on the southeast corner of 22nd and First Avenue. Right there used to be the backside of the Capitol Theatre, our most famous movie theater, torn down in 1979. That's looking south on First Avenue. You can see the main doors to the Midtown Plaza. We're heading east still on 22nd Street. And now we're turning south onto 2nd Avenue, which is the busiest business street in the whole city. We've got Starbucks on the corner. This is the Scotiabank building. This is where the Capitol Theatre was from 1929 to 1979. It's now Scotia Centre. Many stories of office buildings. We got Caswell's Clothing on the left, Rook and Raven, Moore's Clothing for men. We've got the TD Bank now on the left corner, CIBC on the southeast corner. Get my directions straight. Tall building. This is where one of the Drinko buildings was. There were 3 of them. 2 of them burnt down. This is one of the ones that's gone.
It used to be a Pinder's.
We've got the old bank, which is now the Coors Event Center. It used to be O'Brien's Event Center. Here's the Empire Hotel, built around 1909. Later became the Executive Hotel. Then it became the Capri Hotel. And now it is the Lighthouse. Beside it is the smaller Continental Hotel, which has been shut down for decades, and yet I guess they keep paying the taxes so the building never gets torn down. We've got the big Scotiabank movie Cineplex here, biggest one in the city, and that's where the one of the Cahill blocks was.
All the people who have no place to go stay at the Capri.
This is Polytechnic Campus here, where the Star Phoenix building used to be. Edwards School of Business. We're now at 3rd Avenue and 20th Street. Here's where McCaig's Funeral Home was for decades. Now it's Progressive Property Management. Right through there you can see that's where the Technical Institute used to be, right, with the big shiny new building. There's the band shell over at Spadina Crescent along the riverbank. This is the Glengarry block on the left. This is 3rd Avenue. That's the west side of the street between 20th and 21st. That's where the Basement Jazz Club was in the basement, opened up in 1983. Some of the grandest buildings in this area. The Saskatoon Board of Education is now in the building that was the Army and Navy from 1973 to about 93. Before that, it was originally built for Eden's in 1928. This is Drinko building number 3. It's the only one still standing. This used to be businesses, but there was a big fire in the mid-90s and took out a whole run of buildings, including Collector's Edge and A&W. This is the Sturdy Stone Center, named after 2 politicians. Has some of the most unique design. Saskatoon Square is one of the tallest buildings for offices. We're coming up to 23rd Street. Our bus mall is here. This is where people can switch buses. And there's the old Bay building over there. And this is our City Hall. The main older building you can see on the right was built in 1956, and then we have new additions built onto it since then. Our main public library in the city is right here. We're on 23rd, and we're looking towards 4th Avenue. There's our big post office, which was open there for decades until it moved about a decade ago. So it's no longer the post office, and the Basement Jazz Club is now using the basement of that building. So here you can see the west side of our City Hall. And this is the main door that everybody uses now. At 222 3rd Avenue North. Maybe our favorite church in the city is 3rd Avenue United Church, which is just north of City Hall. It's been bought by private owners, Butler buyers. Here's the HMCS Unicorn, Royal Canadian Navy building. We're on 4th Avenue, now we're turning back south. Here's the far northeast corner of City Hall. So here is the old post office used in the 80s and 90s. Here's the front of Francis Morrison Library. This was the Co-op grocery store in the 1950s, 60s. Then it was replaced by our police station up until just about 5 years ago. The Haltane building here. We're at 22nd and 4th Avenue. Co-op building. This is where the other Drinkle building was that burnt down. It was on the corner here of 3rd and 22nd. It's kind of the edge of this bank. There's St. Paul's Church over there, just alongside Spadina Crescent along the riverbank. One of the most popular nightclubs ever in Saskatoon was the Artful Dodger, which was located right here in this building, which was part of the Army and Navy building. Hudson's. First Nations Bank with a nice artwork. The Ramada Renaissance, built around 1983. It is now the Delta Hotels Marriott. We're back at 20th Street and 4th Avenue. And now we're at the very end of 20th Street as it runs into the river with the band shell Vimy Memorial here along the riverbank. There's the Broadway Bridge. At one time there were no trees here. This has all been developed in, and now the trees are all huge everywhere in this city. And this is our castle, the Vesper Hotel. Started around 1929, officially opened in 1935. It's been sold a few times. Saskatoon Club there on the left, where this is now 21st Street looking back west. There's the Oddfellows Club building. The front of the Vesper Hotel. Across from it is the Sheraton Cavalier Hotel. Skating rink here outside. Another view of St. Paul's Roman Catholic Cathedral Church here as we're now on Spadina Crescent, driving back north along the riverbank. Horizon Laser Vision Center on the left. This is the Medical Arts Building, the Palisades Hotel,
Statue.
Spadina Medical Clinic, two of our grandest churches right here.
This is Knox.
This is Knox on the corner, and that was St. Johns Cathedral we just passed.
Do you want me to go straight or?
We're good. So now we're up to 24th Street. Now you can start to see the University Bridge, also known as the 25th Street Bridge.
Which one do you want me to go?
Okay.
Go on the bridge?
This is where our Ukrainian museum was, but now this is a
No.
condo.
No, it's right next door.
All right, we'll see it here in a second. There's the Ukrainian Museum of Canada right there. Over here we have the Parktown Hotel, which has had many nightclubs in it over the years, including Yuck Yuck's Comedy there. There's Kinsman Park, where the amusement rides are. And now we're crossing the bridge. We're heading to the east side of the river.
Must be the Children's Hospital right there.
Children's Hospital is brand new. That cost, I don't know, $100 million. That just opened last year, brand new. There's a nice view of our river. And now we're heading back south on Clarence Avenue. If we go to the left, we would take College Drive, but we're going to go right along the riverbank here, actually. Best view of the city here from these homes along the east side of the riverbank, which is much higher. And some of the more expensive houses in the city with great views. Snow hasn't all melted yet, but it's a hot day here, 7 degrees. Snow's been melting like crazy this week.
Some nice new houses.